Ura, kira sidu don again and the kita tare rasare poto tare totutuye. Hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I would like to welcome you all back to my channel on YouTube. I am Spirit to Spirit, Teachings of Going Within Self, and on my TikTok channel, I am Enlightened Soul, 1974 Enlightened Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook. Today I'm going to talk about where does jealousy stem from, because there's a lot of that is happening in the world, and we're told, well, that's a sin. Okay, not going to get into like the big parts of that. I'm going to more or less stay around the lines of it, because right now, if anybody's familiar with the Schumann resonance, which measures, this is what the Schumann resonance is like right now. So a lot of people are like, they're going through a lot. You're having ascension symptoms. Yesterday was very intense for me, and I know that I pick up on other people. Okay. And yesterday I had to get out of my house because the person I live with, between like there's spirits, okay, that have a history together, and I experienced that. That's why my channel is Spirit to Spirit, Teachings of Going Within Self, because I am connected to the spirit realm and the physical realm. So I'm feeling things physically, but I'm also experiencing it on a spirit level. It gets very intense, because like a lot of you that are on this journey, you understand that like you're actually experiencing other parts of yourself. If you're not familiar what my channel is about, it's my channel's not for everybody. I mean, it's like it's pretty trippy, even for myself. But I work for and with spirit, and that's everything. I connect with our ancestors. I connect with the galactic world, the universal world, like with the trees and just everything as a whole, because that is what spirit is. Yeah, good. No, it's not about trying to understand what it is I'm putting forward, because your higher being, your higher essence, the stuff that is has been suppressed and pushed down because of all the trauma and the stuff that they call sins that we've been going through, it all gets suppressed. What I'm going to do, because there may be some new people in here who's not familiar with my channel, and they're wondering what are you bringing forward, or what are you offering? I don't understand your language. It's okay. Okay, because it's a spirit to spirit. It's from a spirit, from a spirit that I'm connected to a spirit that is connected within the collective, because we are all one. And that's where jealousy comes in many areas, because not necessarily is it that we're feeling our own jealousy, because we're all connected. And I know that sounds strange for some, because it's really hard to fathom or comprehend. I know, because like when I first started trying to realize it, it's like your head just like, it's like, holy shit, man, my head is like, your head just feels like it's just freaking shaking. Like, I mean, shaking. And there's times when I get the experience that I'm experiencing somebody just taking and banging their head on the wall. So and that's what it will actually do, because you're actually moving energy. And a part of it, like when we have it, we call them temper tantrums. Okay, when you feel like you're having a temper tantrum, okay, things can start off mild, but then when it starts to like it's escalating, what's happening is there's so much energy building up within yourself that you don't know what to do with it. So it comes out in many different forms. And one of the biggest forms, it comes out in rage and violence. I know I went through that. I went through that yesterday. It wasn't towards anybody, but I had to go in my vehicle. And a lot of people are experiencing that, and they're told, well, this is what's going on with you. This is what's going on with you. But what you're actually experiencing is you're actually experiencing different forms of spirit within you. Thank you, drummer. Hi. Well, give me it. Override. It's not working right. No. I might have to okay. Just bear with me 1 minute. I'm going to read my description for those of you who view your channel. I'm constantly talking with different forms of spirit. It's different forms of self. It's so when people say about others, hi Ontario, when people say about others talking to themselves, well, they're actually talking to other versions of themselves on different realms and different planes of existence and what have you. But it's the different parts of spirit, because where we are one, we're connected with everything. So we're all constantly channeling, whether people want to believe that or not. Everybody is channeling in one form or another. Okay, so here is a description of what my channel is about. Oh shit. I do this all the time, even when I'm alone. Hi everyone. I'm Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I'm here to wake people up to see how we've been treating each other and our earth. I am a unique type of spirit guide. I am a psychic, a medium, a channeler, a telepath, and an empath. I also speak and sign different languages, all of which can be very intense at times. On my channel, I talk about everyday life, the ignorance, greed, the hatred, etc. I do it to get people to look within themselves and how we have been acting in life towards ourselves and others, including animals. Some people may not like what I have to say, whereas others may totally understand. Sometimes I may not come off a very spiritual person. However, I ask you to look within and see what spirituality really means. It is the enlightenment, waking up to the truth, the good, bad, and the ugly stuff that we don't like to see about ourselves, about the world, and others. Sometimes we need a little tough love to be able to look within ourselves. I am the inner conscience. Okay. So it becomes very intense for me a lot, but I'm more used to it. And right now I feel like there's a throat chakra, and many people have things that they want to say and want to express. And I just got, you're a bitch. Oh, well, that's your opinion. Like roof. Because a bitch actually stands for a female dog. And, think of it this way, a female dog, she will protect her young. I used to go through, I'm not sure if it was so much jealousy, but I would feel it if I'd go around to other people and if they had something, and whether it was myself feeling it or a different version of myself, like, because when we're children, okay, that's where jealousy really starts. It starts first off when we're children, okay, because it's like some have something that others don't. So it creates a rift within the relationships, whether it be at home or at school or daycare or just out on the playground. Like, it's seeing that somebody has something that you don't, because maybe your family is less fortunate. Okay. And it's the part of being able to teach our children that it's not about what you have in the physical aspect, but I know it can also become a jealousy within within a family, like kids seeing other kids with good families and families that are together, and they're not understanding because their families aren't. So it creates a jealousy when kids have their birthday parties and what have you, and you invite kids to the birthday party. I know, like, if I were to have another child and I were to have birthday parties or what have you, it wouldn't really, I wouldn't want to have my child open the gifts if they were given any gifts in front of other children, because it can create a lot of jealousy because maybe that child's parents can't afford it, or they don't get that for their birthday or Christmas or what have you, because we're always showing, oh, this is what I have, this is what I have. And sometimes it's about not taking into consideration of what others may not have. And it creates a lot. I know that I go to a friend of mine's place, and she has a beautiful yard, and I go there and it's like, oh, this is beautiful. And I know at sometimes I feel like there's a jealousy there, but I know it's not really what I'm truly feeling, because it's good to see that she has that. Because when you become jealous, what ends up happening, it is actually keeps you from being able to work towards the things that you want for yourself, opposed to what somebody else has. How did I get like this? Very trippy. You go through hell. It's the part that you're rising in the Kundalini. Okay, drummer on here, he teaches about it. I'm not so much into teaching things about the Bible as actually using. It's always better to use your own experiences a lot, and then you can explain what it is that you're trying to explain within a Bible. I was watching a woman's channel, and she was for transgender, and she was there like with people who had issues against transgender. And a lot of it's because people aren't understanding what others are trying to express, because they say about all these different genders and what have you, or the lack thereof. And we say that we only have two genders, and that's a man and a woman. Okay. And it's like, okay, physical body. Yes. You have the man and the woman aspect to it. But as I explained before, many different times, like a lot of people, they want to throw shame on somebody who has a belief. And sometimes it can actually be a jealousy in ways in that aspect, because maybe they are experiencing similar things themselves, but they're jealous because somebody else knows how to express it and bring it forward, and they don't know how to. Yes, Rolly? Okay, come on. You're welcome. Sorry about that. Ah, shit. I thought about doing my video outside today, and then it was like, no, because last time I did a video outside, Rolly brought me a bird, and when he brought it, he kind of like broke his neck. Some of you may have been on that live video. But when I would go to my friend's place, like I would have like my ancestors and stuff, they would ask me if I was jealous. And I'm being honest, there were parts, because it's things that I want to see for myself, but I want to see it differently, because I don't want to take something from somebody else. And it's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses. And when you try keeping up with the Joneses, what you're actually doing is you're holding yourself back because you want what somebody else has, opposed to seeing things that you could have for yourself. That maybe that's different. You want something similar. Maybe it's not necessarily that. And sometimes when it's flaunted in others' faces, that creates a lot of anger and separation. Okay. I know that, like, going through my journey, that, like, I went through a lot of going inward, a lot of the inner work, a lot of the sitting with it. And I still to this day do a lot of screaming. And when it's not a high pitched scream, it's like a wrath, man. It comes out and it's just like, ah! And it's usually because, like, I've got to go somewhere. I got to drive. And when I'm driving, I feel like, holy shit, man, am I going to rip the fucking steering wheel right off my car? I see, like, others getting help. And yes, sometimes I do get frustrated. I do get jealous and I do feel like I'm enraged. But is it that part of me that has already grown, or is it a part of me that is still wounded in the part where we figure that we're always helping other people? But when we need the help, if it's something big, then nobody wants to help with it because it can create a jealousy there. Like, why are you like, why should I help you get this? Or why should I help you do that? It's ringing in the ear. And it's like, sometimes we get in a period in our life where we feel stuck. And when we see others moving forward, we become jealous, whether it be moving forward physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Because, well, how did that person get there? Well, maybe that person did the work necessary. And if it's not like you hear people saying, oh, well, fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. How many people actually make it fully by faking it? I just heard not many. Exactly, because you're too busy faking it until you make it. It's like that lie. You keep telling yourself a lie. Well, I'll just pretend, but I won't put the effort into it. Or I'll say that I'm doing it, but that's where actions speak louder than words. People can give me lip service and say whatever they want, but I feel the true intentions. And it's pretty hard a lot of time because you just want to cry, and sometimes you just feel like you want to lash out. And we're getting that right now. When you become jealous, that was the part where when you're jealous, you are holding yourself back because you're wanting something that is somebody else's that's not meant for you. So you're more focused on that person than you are on yourself. See, it's like, and people of religion aren't going to like what I'm saying, but the truth, like, it's not about worshiping one person and saying that that person is your savior or what have you, because that person was here teaching and it got all miscued and it didn't get taught to everyone, which caused a jealousy within that system, within that group of people, which caused a lot of turmoil. and a lot of turmoil within the masculine and feminine aspect of it. Like I was reading a thing, and it was in a part of it, it was saying that people call him Jesus, but it's Yeshua. Okay. It was like to teach Mary Magdalene how to be a man, to come back as a man or what have you. And then there was a thing, badass as Tara in the Buddha aspect of it, and they were saying about like, oh well, you should come back as a man. It's like, really? Why? Why do people have to, like, why do women have to come back as a man in order to be able to teach something that should be available to everyone? Because when I went through this and I like told somebody something, the way that they shot me down, I was everything in the lowest. I was dirty and everything like that, which was what would come from a biblical aspect of different forms of religion. And I'm not saying it's all, but I've seen like, and it doesn't matter what religion you are, because I'm here to tell you, no one religion is any better than the other, whether you want to say it or not, because if people really dug deep, you would see how corrupt and how so fixated on something that caused more harm in ways than helping. Because when you start teaching people that it's about going within yourself, finding yourself, because when you find yourself, that's when you find God, that's when you find spirit, that's when you find the creator, source, mother, father, the Trinity, because the Trinity, you hear them saying Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Well, it's the three. It's becoming the masculine, the feminine, and the child within, because we are all children of God. It wasn't just one being or what have you, and that's what was being told. And it just like, to control people was more or less telling people that you had to think this way, because if you didn't think this way or you didn't feel this way, then you were going to hell. I'm here to tell you, I went to hell because I was thinking that way. Because I lost myself. Because I stopped thinking for myself, opposed to, like, I stopped thinking for myself and I allowed somebody else to do the thinking for me. And every time I tried to think for myself, or people think for themselves, they get ridiculed in different ways because, oh, you're wrong. No. It's not about worshiping something outside of yourself, because it's all within here, because it's a part of the oneness. And jealousy gets in the way of that. Because, like, like, people mock magic. And they say, I had somebody say to me yesterday or the other day, so they mocked me about like science and your magic. It's like, hey, dude, science and magic, it all comes from the same thing, because it's all about energy. Science is energy. You are energy. This computer is a form of energy. Jealousy is a form of energy, because it puts it out there. See, we're all here to break the limited beliefs, because by like going in and breaking those limited beliefs and actually seeing yourself inside, because what you feel and experience inside is what you're going to see and experience in the exterior. ここでされんのmaka na kia tata yesul kusuluyan. Bikiska kito toto eno kay. Ko. Kiratai. It's like the heart. The heart radiates so much. And I am more in my upper, like from the heart up, are the chakras that I'm mostly in. And people come and they try to push fear on me. And it's like, seriously? Believe what you will. But is it getting you ahead? Is living in fear actually getting you ahead? Or is it keeping you stuck in a belief system that says that you have to live this way? This is the right way to live. Okay, you got to be poor in order to be humble or what have you. And a lot of people have a stigmata. Even myself, I had a stigmata on, like, when it came to people being wealthy. And it's because there's so much corruption in the world, but it doesn't mean that all wealthy people are all for themselves. I had somebody the other day say to me, well, if I was offered $300,000 a year and I'd like to do whatever they wanted me to, I would do it. It's like, well, that's you. It's the same as like people saying about like God telling someone to murder someone or kill someone. Do you honestly think that God would, like, seriously, a loving God would even tell somebody to kill just to find, like, see if you're loyal to them? True loyalty would be, don't kill someone. Don't hurt someone. Yes, we've all hurt people. And it doesn't mean that like maybe you didn't now, but maybe you did in a different aspect of your life. One of yourselves did, and that's why, like, we're going through what we're going through, because we're trying to sort all this shit out. Everyone's saying about war and what have you. Well, it's a spiritual war. It's a war on your psyche. It's a war on the human and everything, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Because it creates a division. It creates a jealousy, because it's saying, well, this group of people is only allowed this, and this group of people is only allowed that. It's like, seriously? Like, what the? We're all supposed to be equal, and anybody that thinks that we're not, seriously, shake your head, because your ego's doing a lot of your talking. Like, there's someone I've been asking for help with regards to a project I'm working on. I can't, but this is the paperwork that I have already. And I've asked for their help with it, but they won't help me. But they'll go help other people. Whether it's because it's something that they didn't come up with, but I encourage people that if you have an idea, or you have something that you want to work on, you want to accomplish it, what the fuck's holding you back? People say money. Yeah, because I know, because like this project that I'm working on, I'm on a disability, and since January, I've already put $4,000 on it. That's 4,000 Canadian, because it had to be in funds. And I said one other day that for $500, US funds and Canadian money, that was $703. So it's like, I didn't come here. Like, I may sit around or appear to be sitting around, but I'm not just sitting around. I'm doing a lot of work in here. I'm doing a lot of work of spirit. I'm always in here. And I'm always talking with other aspects of spirit. It's the telepathic part, because it's not about so much like the telepathic within the head, because it can be hijacked or what have you. They say the heart can be. Yes, but you feel more with your heart. O kokea makai da sirai. Sikira to tukuya shalemea sarakri katote. It's like I see, and it's not about jealousy or what have you, but I see different for ball games, and people are going and they're supporting ball games. They're paying like $20 a person for a ball game to raise funds to fix a hall or to put a kitchen or something in a hall or just things like that. Me, why I set up my GoFundMe page, it wasn't for the personal gain. It was for a gain for everyone as a whole, because we're all one. And what one does, it's helping others. Because when you start coming into yourself and you start doing that inner work, you actually start clearing all the fog, all the bullshit that you've been led to believe, and you actually start seeing your own potential to be able to do that creating yourself. Because you start getting out of your own way. You stop being jealous about what other people have or what other people have achieved. And you become less focused on them. And you become more focused on what Spirit actually wants you to be doing. It's not about never having fun. Some could say, if I was doing this like in a physical playing for work, holy shit, man, I'd be a workaholic because I'm constantly doing it. I find I struggle to rest because I feel like I always got to be going. So I'm going in when I'm at rest. I'm going when, like, if I'm sleeping, I'm constantly. And you are too. We just don't realize it sometimes. And I accepted spirit. I don't say God because, well, to me, God, it represents like just a male, a masculine. And they're always saying in the Bible, Father, Father. Anybody who wants somebody else worshiping them, I don't have a lot of respect for, because it's not about worshiping somebody else. And that's not what Yeshua wanted. Maybe an ego wanted it. And it got all taken out of context. But do you really think that Mary Magdalene or any female that has brought forth positive teachings, because it's the Christ Sophia, it's both masculine and feminine, and when you're talking with transgender and you have people that like binary or like just different names for it. Okay. I want you to keep in mind, we are in a galactic world. We are in a galactic system, and people are waking up to who they are in divinity. So whether like they're confused, I was gonna like I got the word confused, but it's not confused as it is as the way the gender physical is a man and woman. But I'm here to tell you again and again, if you look at a man and a woman, they have all the same body parts. Whether their penis is sticking out and their testicles have fallen, female's ovaries are her testicles. A female's clitoris is her penis. You know, they get stimulation from it. Don't like, seriously. Everybody's fighting over what each other looks like. And it's too spirited. It's about being able to take on the role of both and balancing it out. Doesn't matter what you look like on the exterior. I don't recommend anybody go get surgery and take pills and stuff to change your body. It's a society that leads people into feeling like that is something sometimes that they have to do to be accepted. And then when they do it, they're still not accepted. So it becomes a psychological warfare. And, you know, I can understand why people, like when we had these protests, I can understand where some people are coming from and saying, you know, like fuck Jesus or what have you. Because I've heard it on the, like in these protests, and people didn't like what I just said. And, you know, oh, well, too bad. That's on you. Wear it yourself. Don't throw it on somebody else because somebody else got a difference of opinion. I say how I see it. And that's what's wrong. Well, I say Yeshua, and I know that I've met him or her, however you perceive things right now. And I know it was that part of spirit that came to me and had to give me that kick up my ass to show me my true divinity so that I can come forward and help others to see theirs. Because it's not about living in a shack. It's not about living on the side in the woods or anything like that. I mean, like a lot of people like doing that, but it's because of the way the energy is within the world right now. It's chaotic. I was in the hospital with this gentleman, and now I see him, and he's out on the streets. And it makes me feel sad because it was like, you know, you're not getting it. People aren't getting it. It's not about falling in dismay. It's not about being angry with the world. It's about finding yourself. Because that's who we're looking for, spirit. And you are a form of spirit. And, you know, I'm not being rude. I don't diss others' beliefs or what have you, because, I will say that, you are limiting yourself. You're holding yourself back in many ways because you're allowing someone to tell you how to think, speak, walk, talk, act. I've just seen fear within the system. I myself, and I know a lot of others, have a problem with what is called considered to be the church, which is actually just a building. The true church is you. You are the church. You are the kingdom of God because it's within you. But, people are looking for a physical place. How about you create it? Create it in here first. You got to create it in here, because if you're angry and you're pissed off and jealous and everything like that with what others have and things like that, of what, oh, I don't have this. Well, you're creating your own chaos because you won't allow yourself to stop looking out there for it. Because when you find it in here, you find the trueness to what you are able to bring forth. That's when you know that God is giving you the keys. God is giving you those secrets that you already hold. A lot of people have heard of the Akashic records. It's like your medical records. The Akashic records are your records, and sometimes they get tampered with. Once upon a time, I use that a lot. Once upon a time, it had the story writer, and he went in when it came to the story of Snow White and Prince Charming, when it was to take the darkness out of their baby, put it into another, but it was Maleficent. Okay, she had an egg, and the story writer had a part in there where it told the sorcerer had to tell them that this is what they had to do. They had to commit a crime. So that was like the darkness saying you had to commit this, which causes chaos and turmoil. It's that hijacking of the mind, giving you something to a belief that was never really meant to be there. It was a hijack. It was for someone else's personal gain. I believe in magic wholeheartedly. I believe in dragons and fairies and mermaids. I believe in all that stuff. Just because you don't see it in this part of the physical world, which different things are coming to light because we're actually going from parallel. So people are finding things, and it's all living in the now aspect of it. Shit. Like, when it takes a lot for me to ask for help from anyone, because every time I ask for help, most of the time I got shot down. Like, I went to for mental health, and this was back in November, and a couple I seen them, and then month or two later, I got a call from them saying about, go and see the psychiatrist, because the psychiatrist, they want to get you in there so that they can diagnose you and label you. Discute to the labels. And that's a spirit to spirit. It does not do any person per se. Mental illness is actually caused from a lack of spiritual health It's a lack of connection to self, to spirit, to the oneness of the entirety. I'm connected on a deep level. Sometimes I feel like I kind of shut things off, but I don't really shut it off. I just kind of like sit with it. It's like I'm not a lot in my head by way of overthinking things like the analytical brain. That's more of a masculine, but it's always trying to analyze and overthink everything. And when you're over analyzing and overthinking everything, you miss the point, because it's always right there in front of you. It's not about picking it apart. Like I know in like to find certain things, the mechanics of how it works for gadgets and stuff. But a lot of time it's things are being made more complicating than what they have to be. And a lot of the older generations get fixated on, oh well, this is the only way you can do it. You got to do it the long way. You got to do it the hard way, because if you don't, well, you're doing a half-ass job. Well, how are you doing a half-ass job if you're coming to the same conclusion, but you take an easier route? That to me, that makes more sense, because it's more time management. It's less work, get more done. You can get more done if you're not constantly trying to analyze. I stopped going to university, because in Killing and Letting Die, and a lot of the philosophy was all men. It's like, what? And then Stars and Galaxies, when I was in that, my notes, I was like, when I was taking notes, I was talking about the human body and the chakras when they were when he was referring to the stars, planets, and galaxies. Like I don't. People either help me with things, or they don't. Do I get frustrated when I help other people? And then when I need an ear, those same people just, they tune you out, or they look at their phone and say, I'm listening. No, you're not. Because you have your head in a phone. Or reason also being is because I can tell. I can feel whether you're listening. It's hearing and watching body language, feeling. That's the biggest part to everything. Like the one person that I asked for help with regards to this, it wasn't about leaving them high and dry. It wasn't about getting there on their back, because it was work and the pain, the suffering, and everything that I had to go through in order to come to this. But it's when you're willing to use your gifts to help others. Because everyone has gifts. We just live in a system that, keeps you on your friggin' gadgets, melting your brain. Our parents used to tell us, especially Generation X, get outside and play. You're sitting too close to the TV, it's going to make you go blind or it's going to melt your brain. Well, you're fucking right. Makes you go blind and it melts your fucking brain. I want to learn by experiences, not by looking at somebody else's theory. And it's not because, oh, so-and-so said it. Well, if so-and-so said it, so it's got to be right. Wrong. Just because so-and-so said it doesn't mean it's right. I kind of told somebody off today because they were going to watch a documentary. And they argued with me when I told them that I had watched the documentary and where it was taking place and what have you. They even told them what it was about. No, I was wrong. Until they got watching it, and then they said, like, you know, watched it, and yeah, you're right. It's like, no kidding. It's not about being right all the time. But a lot of people, they just want to be right and everybody else is wrong, even though that's not true at all. Like, people look at me like, oh, how can you create something? You got no degree. How do people paint that has no degree? It's they tap into their natural abilities. It's a system that tells you have to have a degree. You can actually, you already have the potential and the knowledge within yourself. We're so suppressed with different things, and it's keeping us jealous. It's keeping us greedy. It's keeping us ignorant. It's keeping us divided and fighting and looking at, oh, well, this person's this color or the race or what have you. Seriously, everybody. Fuck off. Not all trees are the same. Not all flowers are the same. Nothing is the same. And it doesn't matter. It's not about what the exterior of the person looks like. It's about what's in here. It's like there's this thing about what Jesus looked like and stuff like that. You're fighting over what he looked like, opposed to like seeing the fucking message. Who cares what he looked like? It doesn't matter. At least it shouldn't. But you know, there's always somebody that's got to feel superior over everybody else. That spirit's pissed off. This is a spirit to spirit. Doesn't mean it's directed towards you. If you're getting agitated with me, you know, go watch my little thing with regards to detoxing. Because, you know, when I bring this stuff forward, you get irritated with me, it's because it's detoxing your body. It's detoxing it from like your own traumas, because you were in the biblical times yourself. You just don't remember. It's a form of your spirit that was there. A form of you. I'm live. I'm live. So if I'm asking for help with something, it's not because I'm on the bomb and I'm looking for charity. It's because I want to do something good for humanity. I want to do something good for the environment, for the world as a whole. It's like, I don't want to hear people say, well, you're just one person. No, actually, I'm not. I may physically look like one person, but when you walk and work and with spirit, you're not just one, you're everything. You're the oneness. Each person is a trinity. And some religions don't believe in that. Well, if you don't believe in that, why are you saying the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit? Because it's not just the Son, it's the child. Represents the child within you. You are the mother, you are the father, and you are the child. You are the teacher, you are the guide. You are your ancestors. And that's what you're remembering. And that's why, I'm remembering. And that's why I'm able to speak in different forms of languages. And there's others that speak in a different language. They do the light codes and they bring forward different things. Some of us, we do different ones. Some, they channel in English. And I know that when I speak, I'm bringing forth different ancient languages that were said to be extinct. And I just heard gibberish. Somebody just said gibberish. Well, you think what you will. But I will tell you, if you are somebody who refers to a Bible or a religion or what have you, I guess you're not aware that tongues, different languages that people are not familiar with. So because people aren't familiar with something and they don't understand it, it's a bunch of bullshit to them. There are beings out there, ones that do understand what I'm saying. And I know some of them are watching, and I know that, certain things fuck with my algorithms, but I know that I'm getting through, whether I see it or not. But I know that the jealous ones that don't want things getting out, they tend to try to screw with things. So it leaves it up to the people to override it. Super duper again. It's like I started figuring some things out of like knowing how far back it goes. I know that I'm working through things from my ancestors. And I know that the person I'm around 24/7 is one of those ones that that the ancestors have a beef with. These two people, these spirits have a beef with one another. But you know, a child of God is the child of the dark and the light. But no one wants to realize that. It's being able to love both sides of yourself and accept things about you that maybe you hated at one point. But it's that part of the child. The child within gets put in the middle of everything, and then we wonder why our children have rage. I was watching a video of this young fella. He's a starseed, and he does a lot of channeling. And his mother was doing a video in a department store, and he was really like acting out. Like I was watching him, and he was making odd sounds and what have you. And I'm like realizing it. Okay, it's because that young fella is taking on so much energy of many different forms of spirit that he's channeling, that it's that energy within. And they don't know how, people don't know how to release it in a healthy way. Because I know when I get in the feelings that I have that happening and I scream, you can actually feel your body just expanding. It's like, like, holy shit, man. We just want to wreck everything in our path. And just like, it's because so much is coming in all at once. And it comes out as a temper tantrum. It appears to be a temper tantrum. But it's actually forms of spirit not knowing how to express itself. Because sometimes it's actually, we're channeling spirits of animals. I said it before when I, in 2020, 2021, when I started going through it, it was a really fucked up experience. Like I literally felt like I was a wild animal. Like seriously. I was like fighting myself from going after raw deer meat. And that would be the wolf. Then I figured out some other things because of dreams that I had. Dreams are telling us something. I had dreams of like there were wolves, but then they turned into humans. And it's not because of shows that I watch, because I don't watch that shit. And then I start like if you watch Vampire Diaries, you begin to understand things quite differently. Same as like Once Upon a Time, I watched Charmed because Charmed, it's all about the magic. It's all about things that we're told is all myth, but is actually truth. Red Riding Hood. How many of you knew that Red Riding Hood was the actual wolf? And then the hybrids are like is a Klaus on Vampire Diaries, part werewolf, part vampire, what have you. Okay, so it creates chaos within yourself. I'm going to share an experience, and holy crap, man. I had a sexual experience once, and like shit. It was beyond normal. It was like two beings. And it was like bringing, like people say about hickeys and what have you. It happens. And am I ashamed of it and ashamed to say so? No, not at all. Well, no, that's your opinion that I should. Maybe you need to mind, and not like, I mean, I'm bringing this forward. So it's not about minding your own business because, I brought it forward, but it's about, you weren't there. So maybe you think I should be embarrassed of something that I've done. But how about you be more concerned with the things that you've done? You think spirit don't know? Yeah, oh shit. When you start allowing yourself to look at your pain, experiencing your pain, and finding out why is it that you're jealous of something or someone? Because it's not easy. People say about spirituality, it's love and light, love and light. Well, you got to go through hell in order to get to that love and light. Because it's the parts of looking within yourself and seeing all your own wrongdoings and facing them, because they're the fears that are holding you back. They're the traumas that are holding you back. That's part of the detoxing. Like you detox from alcohol, drugs, different foods, or just any kind of addiction you detox from. But, trauma becomes an addiction. So you get a detox from that. And that's what it is. It's, they say the demons. Well, the demons, it's stuff that's within you. It's your own anger. It's your own pain. It's because it's saying, look at me. You need to deal with me now. It's like, deal with it. Like, let's work through this. As painful as it can be. Sometimes we try tearing ourselves apart. We try taking our own lives. But it's parts of us that, we don't want to see. And sometimes when we think that we're past it, we get it thrown in our face again. Well, it's thrown in your face for a reason, because you were never over it. It's spirit. I said, like, you have a trauma. The trauma is the experience of what happened at that moment. That was your trauma. The PTSD is the part that was produced from the trauma, became the part that we suppress, okay, because we have it, but then we want to push it away. But spirit, whenever that happens to you, that's spirit's way of saying, you really need to look at this. It's like they say about Mary Magdalene with the 7 demons. Well, like you have the 7 demons, the 7 stars, 7 angels. There's a lot of the things with regards to the 7s. Okay. So I seen, when I went through my first one, I seen the 7 stars in my eyes, and I was seeing them everywhere, which represented like the seven angels, the 7 demons, everything, and what have you. And a lot of us are going through it, and that's why our bodies are jolting and jerking and we're getting sick. Like yesterday, after I had that experience where like I thought I was going to rip the steering wheel right off my car, and I just like drove and I just screamed, like I blasted to get it out. And that, like, I ended up with a major headache and my whole body, I felt like I was sick because I released so much toxin from my body that it was a fight. My body releasing that went through a war in itself because I had to allow myself to feel it and experience it and release it. Yeah. Fuck. There we go. Yeah, I gotta beat it. Let me see it. Like I'm always used to giving, mostly giving things away, but I have to learn, like, no, not 111. As I just said that, I had to learn not to do that. But it was because that most material things, like, to me, people are more important than things. I like my shiny stuff. Kire ito Sukli ai. Pituto puro totum. Tiada. Yeah, MSuguri. Right now, I have the urge and I just want to take this and throw it to the floor. Smash it. Kireitoi. Secreta tateto tariam. Mudayatai. To sukri. Hey. Okay. I've been seeing the number 7. The number 7 is related to the angelic realms in numerology. It's associated with luck and divine alignment. When you see 7, it represents a new path, a foray into uncharted territory, and a sudden windfall. The energy of the 7s is exciting. Okay. So that's what it's more representing. Everything has been put in context to cause fear and hostility and anger and ridicule, opposed to seeing the true side of it. It's been hijacked, manipulated into creating chaos, like the theory with regards to like people with black cats, the superstition, or the dime. Like people believe that the dime is representing an ancestor or a loved one, or, well, I mean, what have you. Okay. So do you not realize that it's actually signifying everything that I speak of? Only I bring it forth differently because I'm connected. So do I still get jealous sometimes? I know that it's more of the child that can, because sometimes we want more than what we have at the moment, but it's also what growing up as an adult became a program for. So my inner child is actually teaching me how to be a child again. My inner child is actually thankful and grateful to me for being able to stand up to my shadows, to be able to reconciliate. And that's the masculine and feminine, because they've been at war with each other. That's why you have this stuff coming out now with regards to like the feminist movement. Well, the feminist movement, it's got it like it's not just about like women. It's about being equal. And that's what it was. Like Mary Magdalene. You know, Yeshua taught her the stuff which it should have been taught to everybody else more clearly, so it didn't create a jealousy or what have you. But there was actually division before that, because it was something that was already programmed into certain people, thinking that there's no place in this world for women, for feminine energy. But you know, the feminine side is what's doing a lot of the creating, and it gets hijacked by the masculine ego that says, like, you know, we're going to take credit for everything. It's like the kid on the playground that don't know how to share. And it's not that a woman wants to be like superior over a man, but men want like masculines, not all, because there's masculines that are in their feminine, but the masculines that are so far in their masculine, they want to run roughshod. And that is where jealousy comes from. So once we step out of like worrying or thinking about what somebody else has, what do you see for you? What do you want for you? Not what you see somebody else having. And I'm not talking about like something so much on the materialistic world. Where do you see you as your higher being? What do you see yourself accomplishing? Because I know you can do it. Spirit knows you can do it. God knows you can do it. A system tells you that you can't. But you're here to break that programming. You're here to break that system. Finding your own potential, your true potential. Not what somebody else says that, oh, well, you know, you got to do this because you got to make this much money in order to, you know. Like that person saying to me about $300,000 a year, like you wouldn't you do it? No, I wouldn't. I'm doing this and I get paid nothing. But I'm working for spirit and I'm coming forward. So if it's something that's right, yes, I will do it for free. But I'm not going to do something that I don't feel is appropriate just because of money. Because that's why we got so much corruption and greed in the world. That's why there's so much killing. That's why your food prices are way up the yin yang, because it's a good way, you know, the stuff that heals people and helps people. It's a good way, you know, keep it expensive so people can't afford it and they have to revert to the crappy, shitty food that's making you really sick. And then they can give you your pills and they can throw you in the hospital and they can do this and do that for you. But, you know, how about you go back and you have a look at the natural? Instead of listening to all these pharmaceutical companies that's just getting rich off you. You think they give a shit about you? It's time you give a shit about yourself and your family. Keep the money in your own pockets instead of giving it to them, hey? Creso tutoya. Do I believe in Western medicine? To be honest, not really, because I know differently. I know what they're doing because they're suppressing humanity so that all the things that is already there that makes their stuff moot. They don't want you knowing. That's why you get all these new bills and laws that they want to put in place. I like to know how they're doing it. I thought it was the people that spoke. I had somebody the other day tell me that, if you don't vote, then you don't have a say. It's like, wait a minute. I don't vote because I'm not giving my say to somebody else to speak for me. I speak for myself. So I'm not going to give, like people say, oh, well, you got to because that's the way it is. No. I don't have to say, I don't agree with what they do. I don't agree with how they spend the money. I don't agree with any of it. So why would I give permission? Yeah, I get disability, and that's my business, but it ain't like I didn't work before. I contribute a lot. And I went through a lot of hell that I experienced through the systems. The people that they say, oh, you trust us. You can trust us. Fuck you can. I trust spirit. I trust me. I've not seen one of them that had my best interest at heart. And some of you may have experienced just fine. But I have to ask some, how many times did it keep coming back? That just hit home because I felt it. See, the cures for everything is out there. And it's not a pill. Because you take a pill, you just got to take more. You're ADHD, you're experiencing a whole shit pile of energy. You're a medium. They're trying to work through you. You're what's going to guide them home. They're all trying to create through you. And you can't get your shit together long enough because you can't calm your mind. You don't know how to say, hey, hold on, chill a minute. We got to sort all the rest of this shit out first. Sometimes it's just about, just standing there and just scream. I know people say, well, if you're in a mall. Okay, yeah, I understand that. But when you learn how to meditate, you can actually, meditate on the go. And nobody actually knows that you're doing it. I do that all the time. Because you'll see me going like this. I'm constantly doing it. Some people, they don't like me doing it around them. They don't want me doing it around them. It's like, you can't do that to me anymore. You can, but, Spirit and I, we don't appreciate it. It's a part of, don't keep yourself hurting to appease other people because they don't want to take the time to see you inside, opposed to you know, thinking that you're one way or another. We're not crazy. We're enlightened and aware to the different aspects of living with spirit. Like everything is being rewritten. Like, why do you think they hide things from people? They're hiding your truth, you know. They're manipulating your mind. They're putting blockages within your heart because they're manipulating your mind and thinking that, oh, it's this way. Not many people want to see things from my point of view because to them, oh, well, that's just right out there. It's like, hey, you know, it's right out there. Don't fucking preach the Bible to me then if it's right out there, because it's right in your Bible. Only all the stuff is not together. It's all over the place. Because you have the two sides. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of clearing. It's a lot of confirmation. Ooh, my head, like right in here. I don't tell people their future per se. I help them to learn how to create it because I'm going to go in. I'm not here to ridicule anyone or to shame anyone or anything like that. I might come off hard or tough or what have you, but it's to actually make you feel it. And that's why I had to say, like, you know, if you come in and watch my videos and stuff like that, and then you just want to shut off, it's because it's that part of you that, you know, it's hitting home. It's hitting the shadow. It's hitting what some call demons within us, stuff we don't want to really look at. So that's what I'm here for. It's just kind of a form of an exorcism. Detoxing the body is a form of exorcism. Because Yeshua was it was more of like what people call psychology, but it actually wasn't like so much psychology as it was being able to understand someone. Because if you think that Yeshua didn't go through something of his own, think of it this way. You all say that he was chased after since he was born. Don't you think he had to go through his own hell? How do you think he knew these people? Sometimes he got deep in it, involved. But he had to go through his own shit. He was human. It's like, I'm going to use Justin Bieber. And I don't like using those people as examples. He was young. He got in the wrong people, got right big. So he, you know. What was it they said he was doing for 40 days and 40 nights? Doesn't in it like that for detoxing? Sometimes I read in the Mary Magdalene thing. When Jesus went to a house, he said he drinks a lot and he eats a lot. Do you ever notice empathic people? They tend to have addictions themselves. It's like the part of who was here to save who. We're here to save ourselves so that we can help others save themselves. So it's helping each other. Because if we are one, then not only saving ourselves, but we're saving others. To think that it was just sitting and learning. If you read the thing, it went through hell. So nobody knows the real story because it's all jumbled. Sometimes we get wrapped up in our own stuff. That we don't take the time to see what's most important. I was watching on TikTok, they're doing different prison things, and the prison system pisses me off. And yes, people need to be responsible for their actions. But I actually was on the phone with somebody who was in prison. They were in there for something light, and they were in there for people who've killed people. They came out of there and they weren't the same. They kept putting their back against the wall. Didn't want their back to somebody. Some, they do crimes and stuff because to them, at least, it's a bed to sleep in. It's a free meal. It's warm, even if it is chaos. To them, it's no different than when they were out living in the streets in the freezing cold. But they're just throw them behind bars and profit off them. Keep them in the addictive state. Actually be working with them more hands-on, talking with them, finding their seeds. How deep does it go? Some people are harder because they've gone so deep that they don't feel like they can come out. But that's just a program. Same as somebody telling me somebody wasn't going to change. That's the way they were. Well, maybe you're right. And maybe you're wrong because you see different things. And your true friend, it's not somebody who will sit there and, say they're there or coddle someone. Or just not say something about someone's behavior because they don't want a backlash from that person. You're not helping them. And you're not helping yourself. Kaya ito to. Eliminin mo to kaya makukure tayo suruya tate. A real friend will point things out for you. They will be the ones that are there when you're an asshole, but they want to tell you off for being one. And they'll tell you to go fuck yourself when you need it. They'll call you out on your shit. But sometimes the same people do it. And that's a part of, each to their own, but I guess they say you have free will, right? Yeah, you have free will. You have the choices. You can make the choices, free will. I mean, they manipulated free will in COVID and all that crap. And I don't care if they don't like me saying the word COVID. COVID, COVID, COVID. I'll even say the word vaccine. But it's like everything is taboo. You can't talk about this. You can't talk about that. You can't say this. You can't say that. It's not about trying to hurting people's feelings. It's about, instead of hurting someone's feelings, kind of speak some sense to them. Like, same person that don't like me talking the way they do. They say sometimes you got to speak their language. It's like stand up to the bully. It's not about hollering and screaming at them. And I know sometimes I do it and now I just want to chuck them through the wall. I'm not loud. But I know some people can be thick. I was guilty of it. Sometimes I'm still thick because sometimes it's like, if it's not making sense to you, then it's not making sense for a reason. Like if I want to know about what's going on in the world and everything like that, I'll go look into it and I will read about it. We'll observe. But when you have so many people saying about, oh, this is going on over there and this and that and what have you, it's like, are you paying attention in your own place? You being your own place? Are you looking at yourself? Because that's the parts that's causing everything that's things that are happening. Spirits are all around and they're speaking up too. And they're using the people to speak up because they're here to help. And you have the angry ones, but they're all working it out. They're working it out in the heart. And some people say, like, about the dead walking. Well, in a sense, but you're actually seeing spirits. And that's why sometimes they're disappearing, but it's only for time. It's like, it's that the level of spirituality you are with or at, the connection that you have with your higher, the higher, the connection. So I now know that when I'm experiencing a rage or anger or what have you towards someone, that it's not per se me as my knowing, but it's a part of me that's working through myself because the person is connected and they have a beef with the person. So it's that spirit to spirit. So I experience it, and that's what happened yesterday. And then the Schumann resonance, well, that was pretty freaking still releasing. So if you're having like flu-like symptoms, you're not sick. Your body's clearing. It's ascending. It's clearing. It's moving. It's shifting. And that's why some feel like they just feel like death. It's because that part of you that kept you in fear or pain, it's making you feel it now. It can go easy for us or it could go hard. The more we exercise and the more we actually do our inner work, the easier the shifting becomes. Because if it feels difficult, it's because it's that spirit. It's the part of spirit and the energy shifting that's saying, okay, we're going to shift you now. These are the parts we want you to look at, feel, and experience and release. Ja, this is I do experience it a lot because I'm constantly channeling. It's my everyday. It's I'm not going to hide it. I accepted it, instead of pushing away something that you don't understand. Why not try looking at things from a different angle or a different way? Or for people who go to the Bible for their answers, I'd like for you to go read the Bible again. This time, read it from a different perspective of what, they say, oh, well, that's dark, that's bad. No, you like the Kundalini. You're going to experience what you're feeling. It's not about like love and light, and push it down. I want to feel it. I want to experience it. Because when you are made to feel it and experience it, you think that you have things so hard. Keep pushing your stuff down, and when it comes out, see how hard you really have it then. Because spirit, whether it's this lifetime or the next lifetime or what have you, you're going to feel it. You're going to experience it. And there are many people out there that are there to help you through it so that you understand what it is that you are experiencing. Because when you don't know what you're experiencing, it's pretty fucking scary. Because that's where you get people doing things that you wouldn't think that they could do, because that part. And I'm not making excuses for them. But it's the part of not understanding what you're experiencing. And that's why you get them saying, like, I don't remember. Spirit. And when you drink alcohol and use drugs and stuff, it actually opens up for that to be happening. And that's why I say, like, when you detox from alcohol or drugs or what have you, anything, some are more intense than others. You're going to have, like, you could have, like, rage, hallucination, pain, screaming. It's because your body's detoxing. When you're detoxing, when you're going through that, you're actually going through an exorcism. You're exercising your body, cleaning it out. You're being made to face your pain. And it's not necessarily with alcohol or just drugs or anything like that. Trauma is one of the biggest ones. Because trauma and then going through the PTSD of it, that's what creates a lot of addictions. Most of them, if not all of them. It's because it's used to suppress feelings. Was never meant to be used as a all-day thing. It was more to try to find that happiness and then figure out how to produce it yourself. Enlightenment, fulfillment, wisdom. But doesn't matter how you look. Nobody is stupid. Everyone has wisdom within them. Yeah, and it goes both sides. Like, some people have dark humor, and I don't really like. But it's because of the side, what they've been experiencing. But when you're detoxing your body, you're actually performing an exorcism. An exorcism can be performed by yourself. I don't recommend it. I recommend that when you're detoxing, you have somebody around. Somebody that knows what you're going through and what you're going to experience. It's like having a safe place to go through it. I'll say it again, as I said many times. Doing a video, going on and doing a video of yourself as if you're talking to someone else in your situation or what it is that you're going through experiencing. What advice would you give them? If you do that, what you end up doing is because they're versions of you that you'd be talking to. No, don't make sense, but hey, I put mine out there. My whole life story is almost up here. Because what I used to be ashamed of and felt guilty for and stuff like that, it's going. And by doing this, it's actually helping. Because it's like getting out the poison. And when you get out the poison, it actually helps others to understand their own feelings and that they're not alone in having them. And when you're doing it, you channel spirit. And you just keep doing it. And watch your videos so you know what spirit is to you. You know what's happening. It's like a journal. Form of a journal. Some write. It's your own documentary. It's your story. You'll see how much clearer things start to become. And you start seeing your own self-worth, even if others don't. Quiero todo amo. Yo le que no voy a estar ahí. Sum. Isso korai. Kurita de hero saroyata. I'll make you laugh, we'll make you cry, I'll piss you off, you'll want to punch me. The worst thing a person can do is keep themselves from feeling and experiencing the pain that they're feeling from it. I'm not here to tell your fortune. I'm here to help you heal. Because you're the one who creates your future. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll get that. Shit. Yeah, everybody like win. Yeah. It's about being authentic. Be you, be authentic. Like if I look silly or like I look like right out to lunch or psychotic or however people want to refer to it, well, proud. because it means I'm doing my job right. Yesterday, but it's it's not I don't find it to be a job. It's a calling. Some would say a strange calling, but it's a calling. And life was never meant to be said to be a normal. Walk the same way, people. That's only normal. Don't step off. You know, hey, watch for that curb. You might trip. No, I meant to step off. Quítate. It's like, right now I'm sort of, it's like searching within the body to align. Because your body's the universe. So when you search through the body, you're actually searching in different alignments. See. And right now, as I do this, I'm feeling it's like a tightness within the solar plex. Almost like a cramp. Almost enough to throw up, sort of. They say about hernias. But it's actually a spasm of energy. Oh, God. No ven acá. It's receiver. Tesla, Nikola Tesla. Were the receivers. Okay, makurayari. That beeping was really clear. Tuning, the radio station, we're searching for certain frequencies, okay? Frequencies that help the body to feel good. But you're doing it with energy, but you're tapping into yourself And then you start moving your own energy. And if you start feeling like a cramp somewhere as you move it, just go a little deeper within it. And then just kind of hold it there. And then just slightly move, and then just a little further. It's like tune in. Welcome to the life of the crazy lady, but not so crazy. It could be caring, authentic, resilient, in navigating. Greatness. No, I couldn't say navigating God, because that's what we are navigating. We're navigating the energies through to become to the oneness. Proud to be a tree hugger. Yes, have you, like, when you watch the clouds, okay, you see the clouds, and sometimes the clouds will take shape as something. Sometimes they look like animals or anything like that, right? Okay, so have you ever taken and sat back and kind of looked at a bushel of, like, a woods, like just all woods, and you sat there and you kind of sat back and you just kind of looked at them? If you looked at them close enough, you could actually do the same with the trees as you do with the clouds. And that's being able to be back to the kid again, using your imagination. Because your imagination, is it imagination? Because imagination had to come from seeing something. Yeah, I got all like 3 in 1. No, just kidding. Yeah, the kids teaching people how to use your imagination. Come on, get that kid back there. I want to play. And in a video where I rolled down the hill, and I said that I do my own stunts. And rolling down the hill does hurt, but it is fun. Like, just being able to find that kid within you again. And I know some say that they never had it, but you will. Once you take off all of the debris that has come upon, and just start picking it up, lifting it off. Sometime you're walking, just, do a little skip. I was somewhere one day with a friend of mine, and I was going up like a boardwalk type thing, and I was walking really funny. And she was watching me and what have you. I got past this group of people. And they commented, they laughed, and they commented because of the way I was walking. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm getting you go, girl, but it was, I don't know, but it's that part of just being able to be silly. How many of you have actually watched the show Friends? Okay. And on the episode where, Phoebe and Rachel or whoever she was, Phoebe was running funny, and Rachel had said something or commented about her running. But later on, when the episode was ending, Rachel decided that she was going to just run funny. Sometimes it takes ourselves by surprise, and it feels good. It feels good when you do it and you don't worry about whether you look foolish or not, because, I guess that's the part where they say we're only hurting ourselves, which is true, because we're suppressing parts of us. And most of it is the child within that we suppress most, because we're told, well, oh, grown-ups don't act like that. Or, no, you're too old for that. You're never too old to have fun. I'm finding forgiveness in here. And I know that there's, like I said, the biggest part of my forgiveness, I'm dealing with it now. And boy, does it freaking hurt. I'm just clearing. I know some parts of this, like, it could be like gross, because there's times like I'm like, when you're clearing, you get like I just heard the word loogie. Yeah, you get it built up, and like I do it sometimes, and I don't smoke, but like sometimes I call it hork. Yeah, okay. I just like, yeah, I know. Oh, shit, yeah, though. Yeah, yeah. I just experienced someone now. Okay, but you get it. And I don't know what my point was, because, like, I just had somebody, like, I just felt somebody working. or not horking, but almost throwing up. Holy shit. Okay. I don't know who I'm connected to right now, but the secreto to é caixo e cucurecita tom. Okay. Okay. A lot of releasing. Okay. I keep saying okay. Oh my goodness. I just heard is it fun? It's trippy. It's scary. It's painful. And sometimes it's extremely hard to fathom. As time goes and experiencing differently, then I start to see and realize different things, different truths. It's like that epiphany, and it takes you back to things. I'm just sorting through something. Because I know I got off on different, and I was like talking, like when I was talking about jealousy. Um, what show was it? Well, it's more of how looks can be deceiving, because like some people may look good on the outside, but they're feeling really insecure and terrible on the inside. And then because of how somebody looks, somebody could be jealous of their appearance, not knowing the physical and emotional scars or pain that they have inside of that, what you're seeing. See, what people don't understand is like our physique, the way we look, right? Physical body. For some, it's easier to be toned, and others, it's not so easy. Others, it's natural. We're all built, like we're built differently, but it's finding the balance within the body. It's getting rid of all the chemicals that you put on your in and on your body. Exercising more. Like even if you got a treadmill or you walked up and down the driveway until you get used to doing it, or what have you, just any form of movement, dancing. Yeah, even singing and what have you, swimming, just something that gives your body movement, because it becomes stagnant. See, I know that, okay, I still don't eat meat. I eat fish and eggs. No, one day I picked something up. I don't know. I thought it was a piece of like fish that I had ordered or what have you. Just the way, the color of it. I took a bite. And, it was chicken. Um, a baby happens when it's fertilized, so I ate the egg. And am I ashamed to say so? No. Because I heard somebody say, well, like the egg is a baby. When it becomes fertilized. But, if somebody wants to say about me eating an egg, I could say like, oh, wow. From what I understand, every bar you take, every crappy food that you take, don't they say there's something like that in your food? I eat a lot of eggs. Yeah, I just heard somebody say about cholesterol. The more you worry about something, the more likely you're going to manifest it within your body. You've heard of power suggestion, power thought. People eat what they eat. We can't change somebody's diet for them. Our children, we can't. No, I don't think a lot. I just do more of observing most of the time. Like I'm just all connected, but I'm connecting it to see it. It's like looking at the backyard. It's like almost looking up at the clouds because you see the different images. There's a butterfly. My body is just it's just I'm in a meditative state right now. Aware, like my body, I'm like my body is just like balanced. When your body is balanced, you have an even flow of energy on both sides. Oh, crap. I know I'm slouching, but it is what it is. It's like, shit. And then when you like straighten up, you get the energy flow. Do you ever like stand up and stretch your arms and go like that? And then all of a sudden, like you just had one big rush just go through your body. Well, that's your energy releasing. Kundalini just went boom. それすごい、もう、いや、とかで言えたい。Brutal. It looks brutal. Oh my gosh. No, it's it's because I know how foolish I look. Yeah. I gotta it's like, you ever get those tickles in your throat? It's like the tickle, and it like, right now, it's coming up, and it's, like, right back in here, it's almost like a like, it's like a vibration, but it goes up and into the head. Dahil sa ito yung kinakukuro ito, si Shulesai. Sukun. Today is a day of clearing for everyone. Like the Schumann resonance shows it. It's like making room. It's like jolts. It's not something, it's my body shifting, and your nerve endings start firing. So it's like you have a tremble, or you have a shake, or you just have a jerk. They say the knee jerk. Only this is like, and now when I look back, when I was 11 and I was swinging on a swing, standing up, and I jumped down to sit on the seat, and I missed, and the 2x4 was a 2x4 embedded, and my knee come up and slammed into it. And they took me next door, and they were very like into energy healing and what have you, because of their beliefs. And a few of them took, and they put their hand over my knee, and they started praying, and I could actually feel the bone shifting back into place. And when I look back on that now, I understand what I was experiencing. I got carried in there screaming and bawling, and I ran out of there. So everybody believes in one form or another, and they can say that they don't, but everyone does in one form or another. Because if you believe in energy, and people say, go get your energy drinks, you're looking to a drink to give you energy instead of looking to yourself to produce your own energy. It's like going to something that's false, that has you locked in to something where you're only allowed one belief. And if you don't have that belief, then you're an outcast on society, or that group or family, or what have you. Like right now, I have so many spirits speaking up, most of them women. And a lot of them are very ancient. Even children. Some men, but not too many. It's not about making one over the other, like I said. It's like, why can't each person be first? They say competition. Well, I haven't really seen a lot of friendly competition, especially in your sports and everything else. When people are in competition, they get pretty dirty. That figure skater that busted that girl's knees. Quite the competition, ain't it? I hear so many people saying hockey games are rigged, and the basketball games and all the stuff. Yes, it is. Of course. Did you really think it wasn't? Keeps you paying hundreds of dollars to go sit and watch a game. I paid it was $420 for two of us to go to a hockey game. It was an NHL hockey game. It cost me $410 for the seats that we got. And that place was full. I'm not denying hockey players of it, but they put fighting in there, which makes it even more aggressive. So I'm not a sookie baby or anything like that, but why does there have to be fighting, like even in kids' leagues? And the parents will get their noses at a joint. Where's your friendly competition there? Doesn't seem too friendly. I had a woman go. I was informed that a woman went after my dad. At my nephew's hockey game. Yeah, my sister, she said she stood up for him. And do you know what? We need to be teaching other people how to stand up for themselves. I'm not saying hitting somebody. I've restrained people. I was at a dance one night and I was walking by two people that were getting I guess, going to get in a scrap, and wrong place, wrong time. I got punched in the face. And when I went to go after the guy for punching me in the face, somebody jumped in front of me. And that same night, my sister's boyfriend, he got out of line. Like, he was being a real hole. And he pushed me down. I got back up. He pushed me again. And the third time was like, you pushed me again. And like, don't push me again. And he pushed me. And I just kind of took and reflexed and dropped him. But it's just the quick motion. I'm not bragging about it. I'm saying that, like, I got asked, and I had to pin my mom down one time because she almost bought a bit of chunk out of my arm because she was going through her own spiritual thing. And I know that because, like, she was just a whole other person. So when you understand this, you start seeing when things shift. I've had it happen a few times. Holy, like it's it's freaky. But once you understand, it's like, okay, no, I understand. See, when I do this, it's like, why not try it yourself? And don't just do it and say, oh, well, I'm not getting it. Like, just sit and do it, and not worry or try to feel that you're getting something from it. It actually can help to center and balance when you're feeling uneasy. This here also, especially for a lot of empaths or people who feel energy quite easily, you're actually feeling different, like a lot of energy spirits coming in at once because you're the person that they want to work through or channel through, or like there's things to work out. So it's just like putting your hand like this, because then you're able to kind of say, okay, I need you to just step off some, give me some breathing room. Okay. But you can just hold your hand like this. And then as you experience something, see where you're feeling it. What is it making you think about? Okay. Because that is a way of spirit saying, okay, this is something you need to look at it, because maybe it's been triggered by something you're experiencing then, and you're just being put in the same situation. So it's like looking at what you did before. Are you going to repeat it, or can you do something, see something different for yourself? Yeah. Yeah, let it go. It's like the current is going up through this part of the neck up into the brain, the cerebellum, and it's like a rush of energy, but it can get stuck. It can get stuck if there's different parts within the brain that's not functioning properly. So it's there's a part within your brain where you need to look at, not so much physically, but there's something hiding within your brain that you are suppressing. Do a memory, Sikitutoyaturie. Pikirotoi. Right now, like you when you hear noises within your brain and you hear it, you say like a tinnitus or what have you. It's parts of your brain rewiring. It's sparking. It's trying to heal itself. It's a vibration within your brain of what your brain is experiencing at the moment. Okay. Mhm. Sare. Su. Yeah. Ekotataya tutuin. See, when I'm doing this, it's looking like searching through yourself to see if you're experiencing a pain, just like kind of hold your hand over it and actually then try to put yourself with it and do it through the heart to feel it. Big part of mine was it like right in here because when I went unconscious, like I get parts in here that need healing and what have you. But most of it is in the brain, in the head, because that's where I took most of my blows. Yeah, one day I like was sitting on my couch. I was sitting on the edge of the couch and I was just about to eat an ice cream sandwich. And this was when I was going on call. And I just like I went. I was hearing like, oh, and then shoom, I went down and hit right here. So I smacked right into the hardwood floor and it was a stud. And it just like I had drool coming out of my mouth. I couldn't move, nothing. And I could hear my dogs unwrap my ice cream sandwich and eat it. That was rude. But no, they did while I was out cold. But they did check on me and they stayed around me. And my cat, he would come around me. So your animals know. Oh, so your animals know. Oh my gosh, my hands hurts. Your animals know when you're experiencing something. Last night when I wasn't feeling well, my cat come up and he laid with me. Like he was laying down here, and I started having some like working through things, and then he come up here. So it was they're helping. He was there. I'm just kind of relaxing down some. What time is it? 2:40. Oh, wow. Or it's not 2:40. I've been on for 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I guess I'm going to get going. If you came in, thank you. It's good to have you here. I hope you were able to connect with some of this, and that it helped to release some of your own stuff. Yeah, right now it's like meow, kaya kaya sa sukiya sukiya sukuki makatati tutuye. Hi, shkaya sutitia. Yeah, it's just a release, you know. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'll read one of my cards before I go. My friend's aunt calls me a wingnut. The greatest oak was once a little nut who held its ground. With that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting, willing to receive and accept. I want you all to be big, bold, brave. Most importantly, be yourself. Be your authentic self. Be true to yourself. Be true to others. Be who you are, not who somebody says you are or you have to be. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and know that you are more powerful and have more strength than you can comprehend at times. Send you all love. My finger's not working again. No. My finger's not working. That's what, oh, there we go. Secret.